That's it.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Jay's just out selecting from his epic pile of timber some appropriate stuff for doing what he's going to be doing shortly. As you can hear in the background, he's probably shifting half the building so as he can find it.
No, I got a really a large paver that keeps my back gate closed because it doesn't actually meet up with the latch that the lovely housing commission put in.
Ah, yes, yes,
It's got like I think they measured once and cut about 5 times.
yes. The craftsmanship of the government workers.
How you going, Mike?
G'day, Mike. Yeah, it's got to be the rough end of the pineapple, Mike.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that title, Mike. So I got this that I did yesterday, Mike. I did that yesterday. I'm just going to make a lid with a finial with bark on it and a loose fitting lid so I don't have to interfere with any of the bark on top. This is bottle brush, which I've kept in the heater inside and it hasn't cracked yet. So all right, so I just got to I've got a mongoloid piece. Now this, just take note, all right, because this is exactly how bottle brush grows most of the time. It's a very weird plant. I mean, it's so branches are frigging everywhere. That's all I got to say. Check this out. It goes up. That's the trunk going up like that. But
God, looks like the hunchback of Notre Dame.
it's nice wood though. But man, is it a tangled piece of mess. All right, so I'm just going to trim this up on the bandsaw.
That'd be a very cool idea, I feel.
I'm going to mute it though and just let you talk to Mike. I'm sure Mike's doing some interesting projects at the moment that you can talk about and discuss and make him remodel it because he's doing it wrong or something.
No, well, it's 2:30 in the morning over there for him. Don't know what he's doing up at this time of the day.
Oh, he's on late shift. He's on the night shift.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. I must admit, for certain jobs, I love those toggle plants. I've got about 20 or 30 of them, I suppose, around there. Some of them are attached to jigs and things, but they keep getting unscrewed and screwed on other things for holding things down, particularly on the spindle moulder and things like that. got a couple of big overhead routers that we used to use for copy stuff, and geez, the toggle clamps were very handy for holding plywood and stuff down on. Saved a lot of fingers, I think. It's amazing what you can pick up sometimes. I must admit, I don't go to car boot sales or anything much, but a few years ago I just had a Sunday afternoon to kill, and we've got a big trash and treasure market thing drive in up the road. My wife and I decided to just go up there to get an ice cream rather than anything else. And I came away with about $150 worth of tools. Oh, I paid $150, but there was about $2,000 worth there. All good Henry Taylors and stuff. Bloke only wanted $100 for them, and I said, "No, mate." I said, "I'll take the lot, but I'll pay $150." You had no idea how much they were worth. God, it's starting to look like a surgery in there, Jay. We're cutting all the limbs off. Glad there's no blood. Yeah, I must admit I don't haunt the marketplace or anything. I've pretty well got everything I need, so which makes the wife happy. I like watching a show called Bargain Hunt on TV. We're getting reruns from 7 or 8 years ago, but that's beside the point. I haven't seen some of them, and some of the antique stuff they got on there is pretty interesting. I guess I'm getting to the antique stage, so but I'm not as valuable as some of that stuff is, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna cut that.
I reckon that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I can relate to that too, Mike. It's a pity we can't buy spare parts and make our own bits for the bits that wear out, isn't it? Well, do tell, do tell. Mike said he remembered something interesting today. I see you're slowly shifting stuff around there, Jay, to start putting the shed together.
No. What do you mean?
Oh, well, I noticed that before the old lathe stand up on its side, and looks like you.
Because I had to dismantle the little shed that all that was sitting in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of got nowhere to sit at the moment except in my way. Slightly annoying, but it happens. Oh, that's going to have to get completely dismantled now. It's not going to fit any of the lathes.
What, the little shed?
No, the stand down there.
Oh yeah.
Might as well just sell it. Look at the heartwood in that. Hang on, I'll see if I can get this glare to not be so much, but look at it.
Yeah.
It's massive, isn't it?
It should turn out pretty.
And then it's
Yeah,
really tiny on that side.
Yeah. I remember reading about things like that, actually. Good day, Neil.
G'day,
Hang on, Neil.
I remember reading about those, Mike. They used to be quite prolific, didn't they? Like people living in cave houses there.
What's going on, Neil?
Not much. Gluing on some waste blocks on the ends of the cinnamon crust.
And Mike says, "Good day, Neil."
G'day, Mike.
Neil can't read the messages on his phone too well.
He does occasionally if he goes and checks the messages.
Yeah. So I have to translate for him. You've got people that live out here in underground houses, they up on the opal fields and that, where it's as hot as hell. They all live in and basically underground, but there's a lot of above ground houses as well.
And to be fair, it's still bloody hot down there in them.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
I thought they'd be cool and it wasn't, so I was a bit disappointed.
No such thing as cool when it's 50 degrees outside.
No, well, that's true.
No.
Once the dirt gets hot.
So for the first time in about a week, I've woken up to actually no terrifying and horrible news. Like the last week, just about every night, someone's been cleaned up by a car and the car's done a runner. So hit and run. Like 3 days in a row, 3 people got cleaned up in different areas and everything. It's not like they was all friends or anything.
Yeah.
And then people getting knocked off by this the after effects of Ironside and stuff like that. So it's just like, bloody hell, man. It was actually quiet last night. What's going on?
You got to stop watching the news.
Oh, no, it just comes up in my YouTube news feed, that's all.
Yeah.
I don't watch the actual news. I haven't watched TV like that for ages. But
Well, the news feed is still the news.
yeah, but it's not the whole news. I can just selectively pick what I want to watch, you see. It's all propaganda fed anyway, but
Yeah, definitely get all the flies up there. Like Mike said, yep, I've seen the opal miners. I'm telling you, I couldn't put up with all those flies they get. Well, flies are part of Australia.
No.
Flies are part of Australia. Man, when you got to eat a sandwich and you put it up to your mouth like this, you're brushing the flies off so you can get it in your mouth.
I got a way to fix that. Set aside a little bit of honey. Trust me, they'll go for that. Or some water, because they're after the moisture. Is that loud enough?
Yeah, the worst ones that I hate are the ones that get up between my glasses and my bloody eyes. Jeez, these little shits of things.
I haven't experienced that yet. Right, suppose I better start put the bloody machine on now.
What you doing?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna attempt, because I don't know if I'm actually gonna pull it off, but just a barked lid with a finial on the top.
Okay.
Just for the that piece I did yesterday.
Oh, right. Okay. Why are you starting with a dirty big wrench?
It's not that big.
Oh.
Right. Just so basically it was the width that I needed, like without that branch, of course. And if I start with a longer piece, then if I stuff a piece up, I can just go down to go down a bit.
And Mike said he went out with a Kiwi girl years ago. She left New Zealand because she hated the flies. I'd have left because I was New Zealanders.
No comment.
Mike says the bark on the rim is really nice, very distinctive.
Thank you. I'm surprised it stayed there, to be honest. It normally flings off.
Now, this will sound strange, but just straighten that out a little bit between centres, all right? Don't worry about the curve up near the top because it's going to move. Hello, somebody's got a speaker on.
You want me to move this centre?
Yeah, move it across a bit.
Wow. I centred it.
No, because it's bent, right? You're going to be so. Just try to line up the centres down where the proposed centre of the branch is going to be. See how you got that big knobby bit towards you there?
Yeah, I just moved it.
Yeah, well, you need to move it across. You need to move it across a bit more, I think. Yeah. Put the knobby bit at the top, and then drop it down. No, the other bit, the other little knobby. Yeah, no, the other little knobby bit that's in the middle. That one, right? Sit it up there like that. Now move the centre towards that knobby bit so you sort of get a little bit straighter along there.
Yeah, I moved it up about 1/4 centimetre.
No, he wants you to move it down.
Yeah, I want you to drop it down a little bit so it's straighter. Now drop the log down a little bit, just straight down.
I'm going to take it out so I can show you where my original hole was and where I put the other.
No. Don't worry about that. I know where the original hole was. Yeah, I know.
There,
well, it's got to
go. In there.
Yeah, it's got to go that distance again up towards that edge along that line.
That's way out. That's going to be way out.
That's right.
Yeah, it will.
He's trying to line it up with the centre of the log.
Yeah, the centre of the piece of timber, not the centre of the line.
All right, but it's not now. It's way off, but all right, we'll leave it there.
No, tighten it up and start it up and have a look. See, now it's nearly straight.
I'll leave it there for you, all right? But I would have left it on the other hole personally, but.
Just make sure that turns over.
Yeah, because that's the longest point right there.
Yeah, that's all right. Can be a trap.
Keeping the glasses together already.
Sorry?
I dropped the texture on one of my wine glasses and it went ching. I'm chinking the wine glasses already.
Now this is one time when I would use just a normal spindle gouge or a bowl gouge, Jay, to rough it down, just to get that knob out of the way. Once you've got that knot out of the way, then go to your spindle roughing gouge. Yeah, don't take too much off there because you've got to leave a little bit of bark on. Don't forget. G'day, Chris. How are you? Yeah, just get that down around and have a look.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, makes you feel old, doesn't it, Chris? Chris says my youngest turned 21 tonight, so we took him out for dinner and a drink.
Cool. Christ, my eldest is turning 40 next year. Bloody hell.
Yeah. My eldest turns 50.
Yeah. Now that's when you feel like you're really old.
Shortly.
when they have milestones like that, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Christ, we were only 50 a few years ago.
Yeah, I know. Chris says they are aging. I'm not. I got news for you, Chris, and it's all bad.
They're
Yeah,
maturing, you're aging.
Are you are you going to start doing the women's thing where you stop at 36 and
Well, they stop at 21. They think they do.
some of them get to the point where they have to swap to 36 because there's no hiding it.
My last ex always wanted to stay at 21.
Yeah.
Mind you, she was at 36. Goodness knows what she's aiming for these days.
And Chris says, not 50 and proud of it. Just I wish I was 50 again.
Yeah. Ditto. Things were still working back then.
Yeah. And Mike says he ended up making a new tool rest instead of welding the drill rod to his old standard one. So, yeah, ways and means around everything, Mike. No, what Mike was doing, Chris, was welding a piece of drill rod, which is just plain hardened steel, to the top of a tool rest to stop it from dinging. Mike says all he remembers about turning 21 is my sister's friend finding him asleep on the steps of a Chinese restaurant 3 days later.
At 21, I was bonking my soon-to-become first wife. I should say going out with. So is this going to be a lid and a finial all in one piece, is it?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Well, that's the easiest way of doing it.
Oh.
That's meant to be the plan, but I've got a heap of this wood, so if I kill this piece, I'm not really going to be that fast. So just got another bit. Is there too much concentration going on?
We're just watching.
Just watching.
Scaring me. Say something.
I'm
Come on,
waiting
quick.
for you. If you're going to do the lid and the finial, you really want to turn a tenon at the fat end to hold it on a chuck rather than between centres.
Well, that's not what Robbo said yesterday.
No. You've got plenty of room to put. I'm just sitting there waiting to see what you're going to do.
Well, you said to me that I could turn a lid and a finial in between centres yesterday. So,
Yes,
okay.
you can.
so
I
I don't
can.
need to put a tenon on it then.
Well, you can put it. It'd probably make it easier for you to put a tenon on it.
Well,
Depends how small you want to make your tenon. Not your tenon,
No.
your finial.
not my bloody idea. I was happy with the container the way it was. Yeah.
No, I quite often turn finials just between centres.
It just depends on how fine you want the end bit on the finial.
I was letting Jay work it out for himself this time.
I was waiting
That's
for
not
him to define where the lid part was.
Well, that's what I've been waiting for too.
I know you've been sitting there waiting to criticise. That's all I know. That's why I'm nervous because you're sitting there watching and it's like, well, say something then. I mean, I'll just leave it as the box.
You need to come up. You need to come up above where that knot is, so that you're actually into the bark part without any timber there.
Yeah.
So I'd put a tenon on the end and then start working on it. I don't know how thick the branch is. Oh, you got plenty. Rightio. Mike's been rude to you.
For who? Jay?
To Jay, yeah. It's Jay, Neil, not Cindy Droster.
I think that went over my head. I've got no idea what you're on about. I know who she is, but
Just whether you want a box finial or a fence finial. Or a house finial.
so was that meant to be funny, that comment?
It's getting stuck into you, that's all. Or
Oh,
I believe anyone can turn it.
And
Chris
has said, I need to make a couple of communion sets, which is a largemouth cup and a plate. But what can I put in the cup to treat the wood for the communion juice? You can use this thing called Ruston's plastic coating.
Yep.
That's the best stuff, in my opinion.
What's? I'm sorry, but I'm having mixed thoughts, and some of them aren't clean. What's communion juice?
Basically wine.
Or blessed water, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you guys with it, and I'll catch you later.
All right. See you later, Neil.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, bugger off. You didn't say nothing. Going on.
And Chris has said, wine if you're a Catholic, grape juice for the rest of us.
So the Catholics are the only ones having a good time. I'm sure you could ferment the grape juice, though.
Yeah, if you look up stuff called Rustins, Rustins, plastic coating, Chris. Or depending on the wood, sometimes you don't even have to put anything in it because the grape juice or the wine will actually steep the timber anyway. Like they never lined the inside of wine barrels when they put the wine in.
Oh, you fucker.
And Mike says he gets a feeling of dread when he gets invited to a Catholic ceremony. They know how to drag it out. Many years ago, they built a Catholic church in our town. Like this is going back 60 years ago. And anyway, what had happened was everybody pledged to buy a brick. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not religious at all, really. But anyway, and used to have Father Keeley, his name was. His face was longer than it was wide. He would have made a good undertaker, actually. He had the little glasses that came down on the end of his nose and everything. And he stood about 6'8", and as skinny as a rake. If he turned sideways, you missed him. Anyhow, they were running a bit late on the payments for the contractors building the church. So one Sunday at Mass, he locked the doors and made everybody empty out their pockets before they could actually leave. Religion at its best.
Is it easier to see the tool rest with the camera up that little bit higher?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I put it up a couple of days ago. Just
Yeah.
still had it sat from when on the angle that Amber had it on, basically.
All right.
What is it? The same thread as this lathe?
No.
No.
No, the one you're getting has got a standard 30mm thread on it, which is slightly bigger than that.
Okay. That's all I need to know. It's bigger. So that means this chuck won't fit on it.
No, but you can get inserts for those chucks and fit them on. Or you can get an adapter that takes the 30 mil down to inch by 8 or inch by 10, whatever it is.
Yeah. It just makes the chuck hanging off the tailstock, the headstock a bit then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Just buy a chuck to suit, so I don't need the adapter, I think.
Well, that'd be the preferable idea.
Yeah. Not cheap, I would imagine.
Funnily enough, chucks are actually cheaper now than when they first came out.
This was $120.
Oh, that was a good price. Still number 2 Morse taper in most cases, Mike.
I'll take that yep back since you weren't talking to me.
Yeah.
So you want me to go down to here?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. See that bit of bark between that knot there and the little knot?
Yeah.
That's where you need to keep the bark on it, all right? So form your lip on your thing in that.
Yeah.
Yep. And then curve it down. Drawbar diameter. They vary. On the older lathes, they used to only be 8 or 10 millimeters, but on the new ones, they're nearly always half an inch. So you can fit a 3/8 drawbar down inside.
I did it just before as a bit of a fail safe.
Yeah, I'd creep up on it.
Yeah, that's what I did. Got that little bit there that I left.
Yeah, well, I'd part that through there where your finger was, because you're going to curve that down a little bit anyway.
Yeah. All right.
So. Now get the size of the hole there, so as you get that down to the right size too.
Yeah, it was 3.5 centimeters what I made.
Or 35 millimeters.
Sort of knocked something off before. That's going into the myriad of nothingness. I did have a square.
We had one before.
Yeah, I know. It slid off my tailstock. I knocked it. And now I can't see it in the shavings. It's disappeared. Quite literally just gone.
The lathe pixies have got it.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm lazy and haven't cleaned up the dust around my lathe. I'm going to mute it for a little bit.
Sorry?
Swearing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Pixies definitely got that one.
That'll be around somewhere.
I fished around down there with an old tool and there's just dust. It's like there's no metal down here, mate.
See, there it is.
Yeah. About that wide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's all right.
So I got ages to go.
Yeah.
Stay over there.
Move your tool rest up a bit, Jay. Move your tool rest up towards the headstock a bit.
It'll smack into the truck. It's about a centimetre away from the truck as it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Put it past the chuck. So you don't run off the end of it.
I've never seen it past the truck before. Do you add sauce with it?
Reset your calipers.
Should leave me enough room to sand it down after.
Sorry?
Oh, just set the calipers so that it would leave me at a mil or two to sand. I mean, half a mil or something to sand down.
Yeah. Use your parting tool to size it.
That's the right size now.
Right. Just turn it over a minute. Give us a look.
Yep.
Turn the
Yep.
bit of timber. Right. Yep. Now, where the edge of that clear bit is there, I'd use a gouge.
Yep.
Yeah. And just curl it around in a half feed, all right?
Down there.
Yeah.
All right.
And make sure that it's undercut. Like where
Yep.
you part it in, make sure it's undercut. Just a little bit.
I'm going to go the wrong way.
Sorry?
I'm going to go the wrong way. I'm going to make a B out of W.
Don't forget to leave a fair amount of lip on the thing because it's fairly big bark inclusion around the hole, so you can get away with leaving a fairly big piece on there. It needs a fraction more than that.
Yeah, I was just looking at where I've got a tiny little flat spot right at the end of the.
Oh, that should disappear when you get down a bit.
Is that noise you?
Yeah, that's me. I'm just checking emails.
Sometimes when I hear a noise like that, I think, was that Amber trying to get my attention?
No.
Because she knows not to bang on the shed, at least.
Yeah, so I had to stop my kids from doing that or standing in the doorway and yelling out.
Yeah. Scare the bejeebus out of you.
Yeah.
Just really got to take this bit off here now, this little...
Yeah. Now, I'm going to have to disappear soon. Now, what you've got to be careful of is when you make that next cut to keep the bark on there, I'd use a gouge and start from outside that knot towards the tailstock and work your way back onto it. No, other way.
Go this way?
From that knot.
Yeah.
Because if you try to put a parting tool on there, you're likely to tear the bark off.
Yep.
So you're going to need a sharp gouge just to keep the bark on it, all right?
Yep, all right.
Right. I've got to go in for lunch.
All right, thanks for your help. Catch you later.
All right. See you later, everybody. I'll catch you all tomorrow, probably. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Anyone with headphones on, you better mute it. I got some noise coming. Can't say I didn't warn you. Yeah, it's coming up all right. Nice one, Mike. Now I've got to make that choice whether I want to have this bark get taken off here, just to take that off. Well, I might leave it because I'm just going to end up taking the bark off. Look, I've already started nicking it off there, so no, I think I'll leave that now. And also, too, it's it's wet, the wood. So I've been keeping this piece inside in my heater, like basically have the heater blowing on it, and then use the heater downstairs in the morning. Put it in front of that one too. So what I'm going to do is it's just going to be a loose fit because I don't want to wreck the bark that's on the top here. So I give it a little bit of oil yesterday. Let it soak in. I have noticed with the wet bottle brush, it tends to soak up the oil quite nicely, to be honest. Unlike a lot of the other wet wood I've worked with, and it's going, don't put that on me. It's going to be fun taking the tenon off of that piece, I tell you. I'm not looking forward to that. I might just reshape it and make it a foot, I reckon. Yeah, I got no idea how to do finials, Chris, so I'm winging it completely. Yeah, yes, I'd agree with that, Chris. Tell you what, though, this bloody thing works great. Yeah, I've got a couple inside that I've done, and a couple Robbo did when he was here on one of his visits, and I laugh at one. Oh, bit of vertigo then. Actually felt like the lathe was moving and I was. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to knock it on the head. I've had my tap on the window. She's going to break that window one day. I'm not finished. I just want to try and clean up this down here where it vibrated a little bit and try and round this little corner off here. But besides that, it should fit in there. I've got all of the tensions taken off of that because it was starting to split there because just pressure and stuff like that. So did you hear that time? Everyone would have heard that one. So yeah, thanks for coming in, Mike. Chris, take it easy.